Welcome to Council Action. My name is Elizabeth Kautz. I'm the mayor of the city of Burnsville. Council Action is a summary of the council's meeting on Tuesday, April 3rd. The meeting was called to order at Burnsville City Hall, 100 Civic Center Parkway at 6:30 p.m. We begin our meetings with a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. We then move on to our announcements and proclamations. And our upcoming meetings are scheduled for Tuesday, April 17th at 6:30 p.m. and Tuesday, May 8th at 6:30 p.m. Those are our council meetings. A work session is scheduled for Tuesday, April 10th at 6:30 p.m. We didn't have any proclamations, but we did have awards and recognitions. And this was for our firefighters who responded to the fire at Black Dog power plant. And I'm going to ask you to please tune in to this city council meeting and see the award ceremony and the individuals that were recognized for their valor and their dedication. These are true heroes. And I just salute our firefighters for the work that they do for our community, the service that they give to our community, and thank them for their work. So please tune in to the City Council meeting and see the award ceremony. We then move on to citizens' comments, and no one appeared before the City Council to speak to any issues. And there were no emergency items to be added to the agenda. We then move on to the consent agenda, and we approved the minutes of our past meetings. We also approved claims listing. We approved amendments to the budget. And we also approved the contract to harvest nuisance aquatic plants on Crystal Lake. And we approved the contract which certifies recycling for the 212 I Love Burnsville bulky item collection event. And we authorized the purchase of a trash truck for the park department. And we continued item G, which was to approve a software license for hosting and professional service agreements for the agenda. And it's a management software service. And so that item was pulled out, and it was voted on to be continued to April 17th. H, we authorized the expenditure for the facility's parking lot seal coating, and we also approved a resolution to authorize the eminent domain of land for public purpose for the Minnesota River Quadrant Stormwater Pond. And we approved an application for Burnsville Leasing, LLC, for an interim use permit for 3 years to allow outdoor storage of materials located at 801 Cliff Road. We approved the findings of fact and the interim use permit. This is the old Knox building. We then move on to the regular agenda, and the first item on the regular agenda was a public hearing, and this was to consider a resolution to adopt the assessments for portions of Project 12-101 and 12-102. This is the property owners in the Portland Homeowners Association. That item was presented. There were no questions for staff. I opened the public hearing, and no one spoke to the item and closed the public hearing, and the item was approved. We then move on to item number 6, and that was to approve an application for Corey Properties, LLC, for a plan unit development amendment to allow outdoor storage of materials as an interim use in the floodway located at 1001 Black Dog Road. We were asked to consider the findings of fact, an ordinance, the amended plan unit development agreement, and interim use permit. That item was presented. The property owner did speak to the council. There was one item that was discussed, and that had to do with making sure that there were funds available, or making funds available in the escrow, which has to do with the removal of materials if there was a flood. And the other that the discussion was about was if a noise analysis needed to be made after complaints about the activity in the area. So there was a little bit of discussion around that, and the applicant did approve to add the analysis of a noise analysis to be done if was needed to be done. So that was part of the escrow on one of the conditions. Tune into the City Council meeting and hear the discussion that took place. That item was approved with the amended condition for the item. That was the end of the regular agenda, and there were no miscellaneous items, and the meeting was then adjourned. Council action replays at 6 a.m., noon, 6 p.m., and midnight. And City Council meetings replay at various times on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I encourage you to watch the following screen to see how you can view past meetings and current meetings. And you can also do that on the internet by going to www.burnsville.org. I'm Elizabeth Kautz, Mayor of the City of Burnsville. Thank you for joining me, and continue to make a difference.